And so if you will indulge me, I made a list of 5 things, and I believe that these 5 things have as much application for you, no matter if you are working or not working, whether you have other people that you are quarantining with or not, and they are, in order, number 1. Demonstrating confidence. Like, these are the things that I'm going to suggest are essential for you to not just survive this quarantine, not just survive the chaos of this upside down world, but to thrive inside of it, right? And so the first thing that I believe that all of us, no matter what we do, need to embody is confidence. Okay? You have to know with absolute 100% certainty that you have the capacity to do hard things, that you have the ability to get through this season, that you are like very uniquely and perfectly equipped to handle the things that have been thrown our way, because the people around you, including sometimes the voice inside of your own head, will be looking to you to model how your confidence makes them confident, right? If you're going to be a leader in crisis, your confidence is contagious. And so if you can embody a spirit of confidence, you will make the people around you confident. I am trying in real time with my relationship to Ray, to the 4 kids we have here, to the 60 virtual employees that we have at the Hollis Company, to have my confidence in how I know with 100% certainty we will get through this. I want that confidence to radiate to each of them in a way that allows them to take it and apply it to themselves so that they can also become a confident light bearer for the people around them. Number 1, you got to be confident. Number 2, you got to be honest and positive, right? Honest and positive. And honesty and positivity can sometimes feel like they run in contradiction of each other in the midst of crisis. But man, honesty and positivity are vital. Why? If you are interested in building a trust with the people in your circle, a trust with yourself, a trust with your team, you have to be honest, right? You have to be very transparent about what you understand to be the things that are actually happening, because in the absence of trust, you have nothing. You will not get anyone to do anything. You will not have anyone be interested in following you. You have to build trust that is built on truth. But also, you have to instill hope. And there is nuance in being honest and hopeful, but you have to find a way in your honest representation of what we're going through. Also make sure that your people, could be your kids, your people could be your partner, your people could be your team. You have to be able to convey to them a sense of this being something that is for them, for you, for us, and that there are brighter days ahead. That there is, in the confidence that you are representing in the first point, a plan that you are building. That even though there are, absolutely things that we have to deal with and talk honestly about, that because of the confidence and because of the plan, there is hope that we can cling to, because we need hope against the backdrop of this honest recognition of this thing that we are experiencing. You got to be confident, and you need to be honest and positive. Honest and positive. Those are the first 2. The third thing is that you need to throw out the old playbook. You need to throw out the old playbook, okay? If you are not familiar with what a playbook is in sports, right, there are plays that live inside of a book. They represent how to win the game, how to beat the opponent, how to achieve the goal. If you are someone who is working inside of a business, there is a playbook. It is the set of goals that you have, the objectives of the company. Sometimes it's the culture that you've created. All of those things, all of those plays were drawn up for an environment that no longer exists. That no longer exists. That is not here any longer. There is no relevance any longer to it. And in the absence of the plays working because of the world changing, you need new plays. And so if you are someone who is still clinging on to, this is the way we've always done it in your family. This is the way we've always done it in managing an exceptional relationship. This is how we've always done it. Leading this team. This is how we've always done it. Trying to interact with customers. You will not be successful because those old plans are as relevant in this environment as a VCR. Irrelevant. There is no relevance. You need new plays. And so if you are still holding on, bless you, to I'm just going to wait this out. Things are reopening May 1st. It's going to be okay in 2 or 3 weeks. Respectfully, you need new plays because the world is different. And even as things end up becoming more normal, it is not going to be the kind of normal that we were in 7 weeks ago. It's going to be a new normal. And a new normal requires a new playbook. Number one, you got to have confidence. Number two, you got to be honest and positive. And number three, you got to throw out the old playbook. This is how to be a leader in crisis. A leader at home, a leader of your mindset, a leader of your team, a leader of your community. Number four, you need to get organized. You need to get organized. That's the fourth thing. You need to get organized. What does organization mean? Depends on which context we are talking about. In our team environment, right, organization meant leaning on new technologies that we previously didn't lean on. We use Zoom to have team meetings. We use Asana to project manage. We use Slack to talk all the time, right? We use things that a physical office previously did not make as important. In this environment, they are wildly important. You need organization in your personal life. The habits class, the work from last week about habits, that is all organization. The idea of having a morning routine, the idea of committing to disciplined routine is organization. You need to be organized to show up as the person that you would like to show up as for the people that you love or care to be loved by, right? You need to be organized. I see someone say, I get so overwhelmed by organization. Organization's goal is to reduce overwhelm. It is to acknowledge the chaos that exists and create as much centeredness in a chaotic world as possible. Imbalance in this season is a guarantee. The attempt to be balanced is, frankly, a near impossibility, but the idea of being centered is connected to how organized you can become. You got to first be confident. You got to know with 100% certainty that you can get through this. You got to be honest about where we are, but also hopeful about where we're going. You need to throw out the old playbook, and you need to get organized. And the fifth thing, the final thing, you need to double down on emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Do y'all know what emotional intelligence is? The idea of empathy, right? Like staying connected to the experience of the people inside of your team. Staying connected to the experience of your own mind, of your own heart, right? Giving grace in doses that are wildly larger than other times because grace is a mandatory in this season. Increasing the frequency of the conversations that you're having with your team, with yourself, with your partner, with your kids, so that you can, in those conversations, understand their experience and serve them in a way that recognizes you're seeing their experience. That includes you, right? Emotional intelligence is generally something that is applied to other people, but here I want you to hear this. If you are not staying connected to your own dialogue, your own struggle, the things that you need, that you may need help with, or the way that you may need community, you are going to struggle more than you need to. You need not sit inside of that space. There is a community here. There's a community inside of Next 90 Days. There are opportunities to raise your hand, represent your struggle, be recognized for it being so normal, and then offered a set of tools that might reduce some of that struggle. But in real time with our team, man, we have just 10 times the number of conversations that we're having about how people are feeling, about what's working and what's not. We've got something called Circle Time, which is like a group therapy opportunity on Zoom. That didn't exist before. We have a trivia thing that happens on Friday afternoons. We do a dance party twice a day at 10 and 2. We do a weekly team meeting, right? Like all of the things that we're doing as a part of our team is an attempt to stay super connected with emotional intelligence so that as we are more emotionally intelligent, we can serve the needs of our team and our community better. If you have children and aren't engaging every single day in a conversation about the experience of their quarantine, let's go. It's time for you to have a conversation. Lead with confidence. Be honest and hopeful in how you approach them. Talk, though, about what their experience is so that in understanding their experience, you can meet them where they need to be met with a set of tools that might attempt to reduce some of their anxiety, some of their fears, some of their worries, some of their whatever it might be. All right, those are the 5 things, right? How to lead well in a crisis. If you're in a workspace or a virtual business right now, if you're leading a family, if you are leading yourself in isolation alone, they all have application. Number 1, you got to lead with confidence. You need to make decisive decisions. You got to make quick decisions. Commit to how you are going to create a plan that is going to keep you and your team, keep you and your family, keep you yourself moving forward in the midst of all of these headwinds. Number 2, you have to be honest about your experience, but positive about the prospect for the future. You have to stay hopeful. Number 3, you need to throw out the old playbook. Whatever worked before. Bless you. Whatever worked before. Does not work in this environment. Every condition has changed. You need a new plan because the field, the sand has shifted, and waiting to see what happens is not a plan. That is not a plan. You need to, in real time, pivot, if you have not previously done so, into how you can today address the conditions of today. 4, you got to get organized. If that's about your routine, if that's about how you communicate, if that's about the technology or systems you're using, you need to get organized. It will create centeredness in an imbalanced world. And number 5, stay connected to emotional intelligence. I am telling y'all, it is so, so important to just connect, create empathy, and have the people that you love, including yourself, feel seen, feel heard. Feel like you understand their experience in a way that makes them want to trust you and connect with you and raise their hand when they need help and get the help that they need when they need it.